Hello and welcome back to the course on Tableau. Go to superdatascience.com/Tableau. And here, if you scroll down to section 4, you will see maps and scatter plots. And let's just download this file, which is amazingmart.eu. So I'm going to save that file to my Tableau folder now. And once the file is saved, I can open up the folder. Here you see the file, and let's open it up and have a look what's inside. So there's my file, and I'll just zoom in a little bit so we can see a bit better what's going on. And here you can see, first thing that pops into our attention is that there's 3 tabs: list of orders, order breakdown, and sales targets. So right now we're looking at the very first tab. What is it showing us? Well, this tab is showing us a list of orders. So these orders, this column, the values in this column are unique. And every single order, it has its details here on the right. So when the order was placed, who the customer is, what's the name of the customer that placed the order, which region of Europe the order was placed in, which country in this region, which state in the country, which city in the state. And it also has information on whether this customer is shopping as a consumer, a corporate customer, or for a home office. It's got the shipping date and the shipping mode. So basically, every single order is described here in detail. And every single order is only featured once in this tab. And that's an important observation. Now, if we move on to the second tab, we will see order breakdown. So this tab is different now. Here we can see that some orders are duplicated. For instance, these 2 orders are duplicated. So it's the same order, but it's shown twice. Well, why is that? And that is because the customer that placed this order actually ordered several items. He ordered Boston markers and Eldon folders. And then for each item, there's a discount, the value that was discounted off the order, the sales, the profit for that specific item, the quantity, what category it falls under, whether it's office supplies, furniture, or technology, and the subcategory. So here we can see that every single order is broken down. It is itemized into what exactly constitutes that order. So we no longer have information on when the order was placed, which region it was shipped into, but we know what was inside this order. And so if we go back to the first tab, here we will see that in total, at the bottom, so if I just highlight this column, you'll see here that there's a count of 4,118 cells. So basically, because the first cell is the header, there's 4,117 orders. And in order breakdown, as we can expect, there's more cells. There's actually 8,048 cells, so that means 8,047 items in total constituted these orders that were made. And so that's important to remember, that in this tab, order ID is unique. In this tab, order ID is not unique anymore. And finally, there's another tab called Sales Targets. Now, in this section of the course, we won't focus on the Sales Targets tab. We'll talk about it in the next section. So let's leave it for now. What we will need in our data is we will need to somehow join these 2 tabs, because for us, it's not sufficient to only know where the order went and when it was made and and who the customer is. We also need to know what constituted that specific order. So the information from this tab. And likewise, it's not enough for us to know just what constituted an order, because we also need to know who the customer was, where it went, and when it was placed. So inevitably, we're going to have to work with both these tabs, and we need to find a way to combine them or join them. So let's see how we can do that in Tableau. I'm just going to close this Excel file for now. I don't need to save changes. And what we're going to do is we're going to open up a Tableau, and we will connect to this data source. So we're going to connect to an Excel file, and here we've got the amazingmart.eu. Open it up, and here right away we can see something different to what we're normally used to. On the left, there's actually 3 sub items that we can choose from, and these are the tabs that we just looked at: list of orders, order breakdown, and sales targets. So let's have a look at list of orders. If we drag it into here as we normally do, we will have a preview of the tab that is list of orders. which is fair enough. Now let's close that and drag order breakdown into this section. Now we have a preview of the order breakdown tab. Same thing as we saw just now. So now what are we going to do? How are we going to connect them? Well, Tableau has a very convenient functionality that allows you to join these two files, and that's exactly what we're going to be doing. We're going to be joining these two tabs. So let's first do it, and then we'll discuss what we did. First, we're going to take list of orders and we'll drag it into this part of the data connection manager. And now we're going to take order breakdown and we will also drag it in there, but we'll put it to the right of list of orders. And once you let go, you will see automatically that Tableau has come up with some sort of icon here, which is signaling to us that these two tabs are now connected. And if we look at the preview, there's many more columns now. So these columns here come from the first file. They come from list of orders. And then these columns on the right here, they come from the second file. They come from the order breakdown. And if you click on this connection over here, you will see what Tableau did. Tableau did an inner join. So now if you're not familiar with the term inner join, don't worry, because in the next section of the course, we will talk in detail about inner joins, left joins, right joins, full outer joins, and so on, because it is quite an important topic in Tableau and connecting to data. But for now, we will just try to understand what exactly did Tableau do. Based on this description over here, you can kind of guess that Tableau looked at the order ID field in this tab, and then it looks at the order ID field in this tab, and it matched the two tabs based on this field. So basically what that means is for whenever there was an order ID of X, Tableau looked for the same order ID in this file and attached it to the rows in this file. So now that we know that the order ID field in the first tab is unique and it's not unique in the second, what that means is that for every order ID in the first tab, there might have been several order IDs in the second tab. Well, in that case, what happens is Tableau will duplicate the rows from the first tab. So let's have a look at an example of that. If you scroll down here to the very bottom, I noticed there was a few here. So as you can see here, these rows are duplicated. So you can see, and all the information in these columns is identical. So Tableau did duplicate these rows and then connect them to the associated rows in the second tab. And here the rest of the information is unique, of course, because these are different items in that second tab. So what we did basically is we've created a new structure, a new table based on those two data sources. And going forward from here, Tableau will be working with this table rather than with either of these. And that is a very powerful feature. That means that we've actually modified the data that Tableau will be working with. Well, not that we've changed the data, we've modified the structure. It's no longer two separate tables, it's one table that has been joined. And to acknowledge this, here we will just change the name from list of orders to plus order breakdown. So if we click, just click anywhere here, now the connection has been created, and if we go to sheet 1, you'll see our connection here. And now also you can see that Tableau has got all the columns as was featured in the data connection, but it's also separated them here to show you which file they are coming from, whether it's coming from the list of orders or from the order breakdown file. So that is how we join in Tableau. And once again, don't worry if you're not entirely sure or comfortable with what we just did, because there'll be a whole section on this stuff very soon in the course. So just follow along with what we did today, and we'll get along with the Tableau part of the course, so the visualization part in this section, and then we will recap again on joining, inner joins, outer joins, and so on, and even we'll talk about blending in the next section of the course. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Until then, happy analyzing.